What's up, everybody? Welcome into the place to be. It's Dre Day, and I'm not only here by myself. I got my co-hosts. I got Makers in the place to be, and I got Percent in the place to be. And we're talking Dash League wrap up. What's up, my guys?
What's up, man?
What up? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm a little tired after all the excitement after yesterday and everything. I think I went to bed early because I was like spent, man. It was crazy.
Man, it's been a long season. You did
It
a lot
has
of
been a long
streams.
season.
It was
Do you have a count on how many streams you did?
how many matches?
Yeah, matches this season. I mean, you did like 90% of the matches, at least.
we got
Look at that.
We got a lot of matches, man. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
You're gonna
13.
be counting for a
Yeah,
minute.
everywhere.
Yeah,
It's a bunch.
You're gonna be counting for a minute.
I'll put it to you like this: Dltv has 110 videos, and it's not. I think if it's been around for a year, then barely a year, because I don't think it's even been a year yet since Dltv has been producing content from Hyper Dash the game. Like, it's crazy. This one game, I was supposed to create a show that was gonna look at all VR games on the Oculus Quest and like go into them and talk about them, and I just got stuck on this one, and look where we're at.
I mean, that's kind of how a lot of us are when it comes to just like playing the game. I was searching for games. I probably spent, I don't know, $300 on games, and then I found side quests and I downloaded Hyper Dash, and I haven't touched any of them since then. It's that kind of game.
Oh yeah, and there's even been games I bought because they're going on sale, and I was like, damn, I really want that game, or I wanted it at one point, and I'm like, I'm gonna buy it,
Right.
and I haven't opened them.
Yeah, I don't even
Exactly.
have them installed. You know, it's just
Yep,
Hyper
yep.
Dash. That's it.
Yeah, I got the quest.
Yep.
'Cause everybody else is forcing me to. They're like, yo, come play with us, play with me, and I'm like, why don't you want to play Hyper Dash?
It's a change of pace. I mean, like Meg was saying, it's been a long season, man. So it's like a different game, kind of fun. Everyone seems to enjoy it equally. It's pretty well put together.
You're right. You're right, and it's fun. Like you said, it's fun. It's not like those other games that are like Pavlon or the other one that came out, Upright, Uptight. What is it called?
Onward, I think.
Onward. There you go. It's not like that. It's not like those games where it's too serious, in my opinion. Like, I just want to have fun, man.
Right.
I mean,
Right,
I
it's
play it to chill, and socialize with the Hyper Dash crew. You know, it's
Yep,
like
yep,
Matt and
that
Style,
too.
all these guys. Yeah, I mean, just that's the fun of it. You can talk to them, and then really, the minute I jumped out, I wanted to go into Hyper Dash. I was looking for that fast-paced, competitive thing. So it's different. But I've been playing it just like I would play VR poker with the guys, more of just like a social thing. And
Yeah.
it really is Hyper Dash. That's the foundation of all of it.
Dre just wants to have fun. Oh, Dre, they're gonna have a robot and he's gonna be dancing like that. Dre just want. It's gonna be pink. It's gonna be dope. Watch, mark my words. It's gonna happen. Yeah, it's been crazy that this one game spurs so much community and so much creativity out of everybody. Like, from the people creating the leagues and working out the details and making it fair but fun, but you know, all that, because there's you could do something and just leave it how it is, or let it die, or you could keep tweaking it till you get it to where it needs to be. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Right. Yeah, it takes
and
effort.
And that
There's
goes
been a lot of tweaks.
exactly, and I mean, from the league and the rules to the team and how they perform and how they train, to the players and how they played, to, you know, me as a caster, man. Like it's crazy. Like how I started out, just doing these videos. Once they made spectator view, I was gonna say spectator, spectator view. I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. This is pretty interesting. I wonder if I could do some videos, like, you know, just like people playing. Like, I just wanted to do these videos, and I just happened to be playing music and in the background, like I always do whenever I'm doing something. And so I recorded these videos for Hell's Hitman, and they really seemed to like them. And I was like, oh, well, you want me to make more? And they're like, yeah, record some more. And I started tweaking the layout and making it easier to see the score, making it bigger, doing back to back or side by side, I mean, and like all that stuff. And they kept saying like, oh, it's gonna get better, people are gonna love this. And I didn't know we were gonna get. If you would have told me back then that we were gonna get to where we are now, I would have been like, nah, man. First of all, I don't have time for all that shit, and I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Look where we're at, man. Look
I
where
know.
we're at.
That's incredible, man.
Came a long way. I remember when the Spectator app first dropped, and the controls were terrible. Like, it was just so hard to move around, and you didn't. There was no instructions. It was just like, oh, there's something you can click on and let's launch. Oh, it kind of worked, But this is alpha, so from then to now, crazy. Even your streams when it started, there was no little names, in the corners, no like the health bar. I remember you even against that, and then the will of the people. You're like, you know what, I'll listen to you guys, and add it in. You found a way. Even the scoreboard and how we do that, keeping the players in the matches. It's like, don't leave, classic, stop, don't be mad and quit. It's like, stay in there. We need your score. And then Lat made a rule. I called it the classic scout rule. It's not called that. A lot of people.
It's actually
that.
funny. I forgot he was the first one to do that.
Well, we had a couple players, and then little things like that we had to just tweak, because it's like, hey, this is the league. We're learning how to figure out the best way of doing it, and we need to keep track of stats and scores. So it's like, everyone stay in, give us a chance to record it. Dre, don't miss it. It's like, you got to know to catch the scores, otherwise Lat will get mad at you. So I remember all that, the whole evolution of that. And now it's like clockwork. It's like, it's not like you forget to look at the scores or what. It's like every single time you're hitting it. Maybe the logo swap thing. That's maybe the only thing.
No, I understand that. I wish there was an easier way to do that, but right now I don't want to mess with what works, because this is a Jenga match and we've already taken out a few blocks, so let's just be careful and make sure everything's stay together. Of course, you noticed during finals there was a hiccup, or one of the cameras dropped for a second because the card is not reading correctly. But other than that, everything's been working together. I might have to switch out that card. It might have went bad or something. I got a new one. I'm not
I mean,
worried.
you used to do streams where you didn't know if the laptop was going to catch on fire and lock
remember
up
that,
heat.
dude? Remember that those streams were like remember that one time where everything just failed and I needed a new hard drive? Like, it literally, my hard drive died. Like, it died twice. It died once, and then they brought it back, and then like a dummy, instead of taking it like a sign and just buying a new one right away, I was like, I'm trying to save some money, and no, it died. Like, it died. Like, he's like, nah, man, it's not even spinning anymore. Like, he turned it on, and he goes, see, you hear anything? I go, yeah, you're right, it's dead. So I bought a new one, and then I bought a SSD on the recommendation of the homies online. Sage and Stred and everybody, they've been helping me and getting me parts and stuff, and we got a beast, and we keep dude, I remember before we had replays, before we had all that stuff, man, it was crazy. And what was dope was, back in the days, if you guys remember, the scoreboard layout was old school. It was just with the on top, remember?
I remember that.
And then a lot of other casters started doing the same thing. And I remember the last time, the reason I changed it was because I remember one of them mentioning, like, hey, sorry, Dre, I took your style. It's kind of pretty much the only way I could think of doing it. And I didn't take that in a bad way, but to me, it's like, oh, it's a challenge. So I'm like, I wonder if there's a better way to do this, or a different way to do it. And that's when that new way came along. And shout outs to whoever that was. I don't remember who said it. I don't remember which caster, but definitely that motivated me in a good way, to be like, I wonder if there is a way to do it better. I never even thought about it, because I just been doing it like this.
I think that was Classic Scout, actually. I think I remember that.
I could probably go back digging. Nah, I don't want to do that. I'm too good.
We'll give him the credit.
Whoever that was, the casters, Mr. V, Classic
Maybe
Scout,
Mr. V,
Style Dev, this other guy, I think he has a symbol as his name. I don't know. He backs me up. Percent, there you go. Percent.
Yeah.
Percent.
No, Stu too, man.
Shout out to all the casters. But yeah, that person told me that, and I was like, I wonder if there is a different way to do this. And then that's when that nuke way came out, and people loved it. And that's dope that we could do that for one another and help one another out and motivate each other.
Yep.
Over the months, as you could tell, we've had different teams and they've come and gone. We had 4DV at one point, and they seemed very promising. They were kicking butt. But what do you think fell apart? You think some of the team was like not as serious as the other, and that's what happened? Or what do you think would happen?
You want to go first, Percent?
Yeah. You're talking about 4DV?
Yeah.
Or just in general, some of the teams that that couldn't make it or
Sure,
decided to
yeah,
call
go
it.
through all of them. Yeah, like I mean, well, let's start, I guess, with my team, Onyx. That was kind of Onyx was fun, man. Like we all kind of got together. It was a mishmash of people, like who was available at the time when we were starting to form that team. And like I guess the first thing we kind of missed out on was discussing availability and that kind of thing, like gauging interest. And so like what you ended up with was a pretty large number of players who could never play, like literally never play. We couldn't practice, couldn't show up to games or whatever. And it just got like kind of tough from week to week. So we did like a roster overhaul and we tried to like fix that. And even that still wasn't kind of working out. And eventually we just like, we came to the conclusion looking at the league and how it's set up, like it's not realistic that Onyx is going to become a competitive team in this league. Like we're really just looking at teams like UNSC and HHI stepping it up, which is awesome. But like, we're just simply not there. We didn't have any legacy information because like we had no previous like team league members on our team, and so it was just like let's all branch out and kind of learn what we can from other teams and like just see what we can do separated. And so like that kind of made sense to us. 40V didn't break up, man. They just turned into Arc. They changed their name.
Yep.
And Elite, they didn't break up either. They just turned into Vibe.
But they but they kind of lost a few people, right? Arc lost.
Well, Arc. I mean, I actually don't specifically recall. Maybe Makers, you have a better memory, but like I don't recall if 40V lost anyone immediately when they became Arc. I don't think they did. I mean, they lost. They lost players.
Thing.
Actually, it was right after they played us, which is like, bro, you couldn't have done this like one day ago.
They're giving us a chance, man. What the hell?
But no, they lost Nub, they lost Inept, they lost Yellow. That's a crazy. I mean, that's some crazy talent to lose off your team. Stred was before that, I would imagine. I think, way before that.
Maybe. Either way,
but,
they did lose some good players, but what I recall, which may not be right because I don't even remember, my perspective at least is just from looking at Discord or whatever happened. It was mainly, I think they were just trying to turn it up. The competition was starting to shape up for the season and things were getting fierce. And it was like, I think they were just trying to, turn it all the way to 10, and not everybody was willing to get on the same page. Some people like can't put in that kind of work or don't want to put in that work is what I assumed. And so that's where a lot of guys left. And then you could see where they went. They went to Vibe, which is just a chill team where of course they're trying hard, but there's no homework, and there's no hours of studying stuff. So
literal homework,
yeah. And I feel that too. It's tough. It's Arc is really focused and they want to be the best. So they're doing what they think needs to be done to be the best, and everyone has their own methods and ways. And so not everyone's down for that, or they may be, and then the grind of the season, it's just tough and you just have to tap out. So I get it for all those people.
Yeah, and that's what what I thought happened. Like that, after a few matches, people realized, because even like other teams that were around, like 4-2, D2, I felt like after the first match in a scrim, I think it was a scrim that was their first match, and them realizing the level of competition, they're kind of like, ooh, this is kind of too much. And we just for like not because they're scared, but just because like I understand, like sometimes you get in a match and you realize, oh, these people are serious. Oh, okay. Oh no. I'm this is a game, so I'm playing a game, but I get it. You're cool, but that's not for me. I don't like that. I don't like Pepsi. I'm a Coke guy, So
yeah.
But that's what I felt. And Arc went on with their more serious team and went on to finals. It was pretty crazy, and I was like, wow, that's what happened, or but who knows? We don't know. I mean, I don't have any inside information. I'm pretty sure you guys don't. So we're just making up shit. But Onyx, I did appreciate them from the get-go, because I think it was Classic Scout that came out right away and was like, yo, we're making a team and they're going to be Onyx. And I was like, damn, this fool has balls. Just come out and be like, yo, this is the team. Here's the logo. Here you go. Don't worry about anything else. We'll get the people together. And then they did. And then they started playing. And they stuck out. They stuck in there the whole time. And I was like, dude, I know, like, it sucks because I'm a Clipper fan, so I know losing it sucks. But hey, there's still people who appreciate your effort, and you know what?
Yeah.
I love. I don't want to say I love the underdogs, but I do. and that's the teams that I go for. You know, I like winners just as much as I like losers. You know, I don't like and the people in the middle. I don't know. I'm a weird guy.
Yeah. No, I always rooted for Onyx and specifically Classic Scout because it was that tournament. I think it was a Great Gatsby maybe. It was a draft tournament. I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was that one. So we drafted players and Classic was my first pick. And he was like, "Why'd you pick me?" And this is when I didn't really know him that well, but I watched him play one time, and he just wrecked it with staples, And I was like, "This dude, how is this guy not talked about?" And this was early. Like I don't even remember when that tournament was. And then I was like, "Dude, I saw you." Oh, he played us in a scrimmage, is what it was. I was like, "I saw you destroy." I was spectating the whole thing, and then so it was. He was my first pick, and then Maniac was my second pick, and then I picked a couple other guys. When we were trying to get Gray to get staples for Classic and everything, and then it was only maybe weeks later he just like blew up on the scene, and everyone now know he's a household name. He just destroys, and with every weapon and any scenario. And so for me, like I felt like I saw him from before he started Onyx and took the plunge, when he was getting into verbal arguments with the 4D kids and was like, known as like the crazy kid, and he's like, F you guys, that kind of thing. And then look at him now. He's like a stand-up dude, and everyone roots for him. So
Oh yeah.
He's one of the great stories of the league, I think.
Definitely.
I could picture the. I don't know why, but I wouldn't mind being in a burning building with Classic Scout, because I would be freaking out like, "Yo, what the hell's going on?" And then like he'd be on the phone with customer service saying, "Valve, please fix." Like very calm. And I'd be like, "Yo, he's got it under control. I'm gonna freak out for both of us. Don't trip."
Yeah, he'll pull up the head bobbing cat just for you to calm down.
Yeah. He'd just be like, "Yo, I got this. Don't trip. I got customer service on the line. They're gonna help us out with this issue." I feel like he's got it, man. He's got it. He's got it under control, man. It's good. And then also a fine caster, man. He's got some quality work under his belt. Thank you for helping us out when we did.
I mean, it's community service, for the whole league to fill the gaps that you can't do, and to make sure that people's matches are casted. And that's a luxury we all have. I mean, I remember playing games and it wasn't like that. There was no casting of your matches, and that was a rare occurrence, or like some real big deal. We had all our matches casted pretty much. Maybe just a very few of them maybe went under the radar, but yeah, man, it's we're lucky. This is the future for real, and we got all these people that are helping out to make it happen, and it's pretty awesome. We all get to always look back if we wanted to at any time, and we got people commentating, so it's been awesome to have all you guys do that.
Oh yeah. And in the beginning I was like kind of like annoyed, because I was like, because I'm used to like telling, because I produce these podcasts and I'm used to being like on a schedule. So Mondays this show, Tuesdays this show, Wednesdays, and I told Lat at the beginning, like, "Yo, let's just do matches on Tuesdays and Saturdays, because that works for me, and I could just be sure always be available for." And he's like, "Oh, that's not really gonna work because of teams and this and that." I was like, "What do you mean, man? Tell him that's the rule and that's it." And I didn't get it. But after doing these seasons and these matches and these shows and understand, I was like, "Oh, I get it now. I get it." He knew what was coming down the pipeline, and he knew that wasn't gonna fly, and he knew that it was gonna be like, "Nah, man, I ain't going down for you, man." So even when he brought it down to the casters, I was like, "Man, I got it. I could do it. I could do it all. I'm a fucking Superman." Nah, man, he knew down the pipeline that it was like, "Nah, man, there's gonna be times where you can't, or shit's gonna fail." And I was like, "Yo, you're right. I'm admitting it. I gotta admit when I'm wrong." And that shit he was right, man. That was crazy.
Yeah,
or
shit,
sometimes
man,
there's like
enough.
3 games at a time,
Yeah.
like you literally
Exactly.
can't do it.
I appreciate that anytime I'm able to cast for any match, and like just have a good time. Mostly just have a good time, man. Just that one time that I was supposed to cast, and they're like, "No, we started early," and I was like, "How come nobody told me?" And I was like, that kind of sucked. But other than that, it's good to see everybody filling in, man. It was good.
Yeah, no, it's at one point I got kind of nervous because I saw like there was a bunch of people posting like, "Hey, we don't have anyone to cast this," and like I know Dre was already booked up for the weekend with a bunch of other games, and like Classic was like, "Yo, bro, I can't do it." I was like, "You know what? I have a computer that's like good enough for this. Like Classic, can you like kind of show me how to do it?" And so he gave me like a basic rundown. I'm terrible at it. I've gotten such a respect for Dre, just like trying to attempt to get these things casted. There's so much stuff to remember, man. There's so many different parts and pieces that are moving. Remembering to like move the payload camera and everything, and like capture the scores properly. It's such a difficult thing. And then to see like all the other additional stuff that Dre throws into those streams, it's just fantastic.
Yep.
It-
Yeah.
but it's like Maker says, it's a work in progress over the years. It started out basic, and then we figured out what we needed or what was best or what looked good, and we keep evolving, man. And the problem is, it's only gonna get more complicated and worse, I think, before it gets any better.
Well, it's
We'll
pretty
see.
well done, man.
Yeah, maybe the devs will have like API that way you can pull in all kind of, yeah, who knows, like the game's still in alpha, so hopefully it just gets easier and they give you more tools and like spots
yeah.
where like hotkeys for the different areas of the map, so you don't have to fly the drone around, just snaps the, just little things like that. I'm sure it's not that hard for them to do, and when they got a roadmap to make the game good and first, but I'm sure that will be in their mind too. They're watching the streams. I see Orculum in the chats, and I think every one of your streams is watched by somebody over at Triangle Factory. So
I like it.
That's pretty awesome too.
I like how he says it's not hard at all. I mean, they can do it real quick, and the devs are like, really, really, you do it, then.
I know that's what they're saying right now.
Probably.
But no, yeah, but also you work with the tools you got, and look what we've been able to do as far as even the timer and the replay and everything, man. We work with what we got, and if they provide more tools, cool. But we got it, bro. That's what I mean. And when people say, "What about this? What about that?" It's like, yo, let's make our thing better. Let's worry about making our thing better, and let's not worry about joining the better thing right away. I mean, why can't we be as big as them or partner with them? Why do we got to be, anyways?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely.
No names. I don't know. But yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool seeing all the teams, Onyx and Supernova, and even TMNM. They came out of left field. I think, if not one of the first, I was the first to guess their name. Their team name was team name. But I'm gonna take credit
because
for
you're
that.
a genius.
I just feel like I was right, and everybody else is wrong. But who knows?
That stomped like the entire community for like months. They were just trolling everybody.
And I just said, "Is that team?" No, I'm just kidding. But
that was actually my first guess. I asked Miss Kitty and she wouldn't tell me. And then like one day out of the blue, she invites us to server name, and I was like, "Oh my god, it definitely was team name the whole damn time." I'm like, "Yeah, server name. This is conclusion. Like this is it."
and
Yeah.
clan name was kind of another ringer.
Right. Yeah. Once you figure out team name, clan name's obvious too.
It was clan name first.
thought it
They had random people come into Discord and just like say clan name and then leave for like a month. It's like, what the hell is going on?
I thought it was Clan Man, and I was like, "Yo, this man really putting it out there." So he get pulled over real quick. He's a Clan Man with him.
Yeah, they jumped up out of nowhere, man. Like one day Miss Kitty jumps on and I saw how good she was, and I was like, "Yo, you need to jump on Discord today. Go find the Dash League, go there and post up in free agents." And like next thing I know, she does it, and apparently she's been hit up by like every team in the league because she's just been killing it.
Yeah.
And due to some circumstances with her not being able to use comms, like she was able to get on Onyx. We were all like stoked. That was her first day ever playing the game. It's like crazy. And then the rest of the clan name guys start popping up, and like I knew they were all kind of related to her, and they were all started killing it immediately out the gate too. So you knew a team was coming at some point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, go ahead, Dre.
No, and I was just gonna say, and I liked them when they came out. They reminded me like I was like, damn, that's crazy. That's like they reminded me of like NWO. Like I felt like they were Scott Hall and Kevin Nash coming out of the audience with steel chairs, ready to bash people. Because I mean, not only did they bring their aggressive play style and were winning some matches, but they were also bringing their aggressive chat style and winning matches there.
That's what's cool about them. They like to have fun, man. That's like their whole thing. They're like, you see them as kind of aggressive, but they're just having a good time, and they want people to give it back to them just like they give it.
Oh, especially Miss Mitty. Miss Mitty. I don't know if she likes to be calling her that, but I'm gonna call her Mitty till she tells me to stop. All right, go ahead. What are you saying, Makers?
No, and I was saying, I think I remember the Taser was the was the link. They all played Rec Room, and Taser came from Rec Room, and Taser's one of the best players in the game. Everybody knows who that guy is, and so I'm pretty sure it was Taser who led the way, and then slowly some of these other players from Rec Room came over to check out the game, and then enough of them came in and their skills completely translated over to the game where it was just took them a week, and then they were going toe to toe with some of the veterans in the game. And then wasn't too long afterwards they put together a team, and it didn't seem like they were going to enter the league for a bit, but all of a sudden, boom, rosters entered in, and all these players that people didn't really know, they just know that all of them are pretty good. I think Dragon was the one that stuck out in my mind when they were first
Doofus.
hitting. Yeah,
For
Doofus,
me, Doofus
too. I want to say Dragon was first. I don't think Doofus was in
I
yet.
think Dragon was
And
first.
don't get it
too.
twisted. Mitty, of course, got my attention because of the SMGs. I mean, she works those really well.
Yep. But yeah, it was awesome to see. Just like the community was so small, so all of a sudden it's like, wow, these are talented players, because talented players don't come around that often, and
Right.
And especially get good that quick. And it's like, wow, look at this.
Exactly.
And it was fantastic to have like an injection of talent into the league. And so it seems like they're here to stay. I think they like the game. They're here more than I know Midnight is in the game more, and I see like one time, and Dragon not so much. I'll see him in and out, but you can tell that they're liking the game and liking the competition. So I hope that they stay, and percent with you joining them, it's like it gives them like that the even keeled like representative, so that hopefully
You're the lawyer for the mob.
yeah. that's how I feel.
Lawyer for the mob. I like that. That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
He's the face. He's the guy everybody sends outside. Like, yo, the cops are here. Set up percent. Hello, officer. How can I help you? Turn down the music. I got you. Okay, thank you.
well, the best part about them is by the end of the season, they were a legit threat in the playoffs. Like,
yes.
It wasn't like they just snuck in.
No,
and were just
that's
like
what I mean.
They were legit.
They weren't jobbers. They came in as professional, high-level wrestlers, and they were fucking shit up, and people were loving it. And I mean, I appreciate it. And I told Midnight, like, I like your play style. And I noticed is if you catch Midnight in game, she has a different personality than what she gives me on the comps. She has, I don't know, it just seemed like she's just a little bit cheerier in the games. I guess when she's killing people, she's happier.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Hey, but shout outs to them and the teams and all of them. Even USC was one of the oldest teams that stuck it out the whole time, that was started out from the beginning and maintained the same. That was dope. HHI, another one. Started it out from the beginning, from the very, 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 very beginning. Season 0, even the scrims.
It was HH versus 4D basically made the entire league. When I started playing, it was like these two big clans were the only ones in the game, and they pretty much started splitting their players up into teams because Lat wanted to start this league. The Elites was Fathead kind of disrupting HH by unilaterally putting together some of the best players without discussing it with the entire clan, and kind of ruffled some feathers in HH. And then UNSC was born out of that hate within each other, like, screw you guys, we're gonna put our team and we're gonna crush you. And then HHI, the international guys, led by Mr. V from back then, they had that team. And then the other guys, that the reason why their name is Other is because after the clan split up to that many groups, it was like, all right, well, who else wants to make a team, because we're feeling left out, let's put this together. And so that's the hierarchy was, the Elites are like the untouchable, like the best of the best. UNSC's got the chip on their shoulder, and then they're all filled with talent too. And then HHI is just an international team of like killers. And so it was really, really, really interesting. And Other was literally, I felt like they were the newest team on the block at the time, kind of just getting their stuff together and getting the players that just want to have fun and not be crazy serious about it. And then 4D had their various, team levels of lower to mid to high, up to 40V. 4D2 was, I think, their lower one. And then Vader was their middle team, if I'm not mistaken. And so when I hit the league, it was like I looked around and it was like these basically it was two clans, you know, that split up into teams, and I was like, man, we need another team. I'm gonna just go ahead and form a team, and so I'm glad I got linked up with Eskimo Bear, and we were able to you know, stick together. And there was a time where it's like, well, there's no player, like everybody's in clans. It's like, what am I gonna do? I gotta hunt the lobbies. I got lucky with the side quest release. Population blew up, you know, and so all of a sudden there's talent that hit. That's when I ran into Triple X, who is a legit pro gamer, and so we ran into him in a lobby, and we were just crushing things. And then you know, he's like, "Let's get games, let's do this." And so you know, then he added to the ranks. I met Quad through I think the Dash League, you know, Discord, kind of like you know, that's who wants to start a team. And he was like, "Oh man, I got a couple friends. You know, I got Phoenix and this one other dude who may be interested in playing." I don't think that guy really stuck with Hyperdash, but Phoenix was a monster. So all of a sudden, it was kind of like we gained, you know, a crew enough, just enough, you know, to like actually put a team together. And so you know, took the plunge and entered the team. Then you know, out in lobbies every now and then you would run into these, you know, RDF guys, and you know, they were good, but no one really knew, you know, they weren't at the level they are now. And you'd run out there and they were just, I mean, they were destroying the lobby still at that time. And then, you know, at some point, I got approached by 1V, and we discussed, you know, his purpose, which is family first. You know, I'm here for my family, and this is the fun I want to have with my family. And you know, he's like, I'm not trying to join some team that's going to depict, you know, how, you know, to split my family, you know, like, so I understood his situation. And so it was like, you know what, combined, we have enough players to properly enter the league, not the bare minimum. And he didn't even have the minimum, you know. And so and then, you know, we're supposed to play every team twice, so it's like, you know what, we'll split the schedule up, we'll share players, you know, we'll swap around. And you know, if things don't work out and we don't mesh well, then you know, we'll just gain a couple more players each, and then just split up into two other teams, not a big deal. And so out the gate, we had this really good understanding of kind of just, you know, we'll do what we need to do, and you know, just have fun in the league. It just so happened that a lot of personalities were very similar, and we had the same take on a lot of things. And you know, pretty much, I don't think there has been a single disagreement or even close to an argument or even a smidgen of drama internally, you know, between RDF and some of our guys. You know, there's obviously some more publicized blow up, but if you took that away, it's been like we've been lucky to have like a really good group of guys that are really on the same wavelength. And you know, we were just talking about that after, you know, our victory here. We were going back to the roots, and it was like, you know, it's funny, it's like, how would we have known that our so similar personalities would come onto one team, and that we're all like, so, you know, on the same page. It's a very rare thing. So a lot of it's dumb luck, and you know, I'm glad we were able to be that extra team to enter the league to fill it out. And then, you know, season 0 was a nice, interesting, bumpy ride of setting the pace, you know, and you know, getting the competition bar raised. And you know, the elites were the undisputed, you know, elites, and then they lost to UNSC, who held the crown for
First
a while.
crown holders.
For a while, and everybody was intimidated. They were like, man, this team is, they showed up and smacked elites. It's like, man, and they're serious. And so, and it's filled with all the veterans of the game anyway. So then, you know, all the other teams are starting to play each other and get some experience. And then you know, then we played UNSC and ended up, you know, take the crown. You know, and that kind of, we took the league by storm season 0, but other teams were gaining experience.
Let me interrupt you, and don't and make sure you keep your place, because you're doing amazing.
Yep.
I mean, it's perfect rendition of history of this Dash League. But at this point, when I started seeing you guys come in and you guys were TBD, and I was like, okay, I mean, obviously they're dope. I know the players are dope, but why are they being so basic? And then even when you played, it was like, all right, well, they're not really giving you a lot like action but I mean, this march through teams is just happening at a slow progression, and I see them getting better and better. It was crazy. And that's why in the beginning I kept saying, like, damn, these guys are marching through these teams so slow but consistent. And you guys kept going and going and going. And I eventually named you guys the Notorious TBD, because you were just taking them all out, and people are starting to figure it out. Now you go ahead and continue.
Yeah, no, and what's funny about those days is that, we were basically two teams under one name. You had one V and his family, and we would basically lend him players. It was myself, a couple of matches, Eskimo, a couple of matches, Triple X, Dubas, a couple of matches. So we ended up starting to mix in that way, but I didn't depict their strategy. We never really discussed. It was kind of like, here's a player, good luck in your match, and then our side we would be walking maps, training, and we were truly two teams under one roof, just borrowing players. Sometimes I would have Moon jump on over, or Recco, or it's like we would, depending on the schedules and how it would work out, we'd mix and match, and
And this is
we
what
both.
TBD and TBDI.
No, this is before TBD. This is season 0. So this
Okay.
is just TBD. It's just we agreed that 1V and RDF would play one set of teams because we have to play all teams twice.
Okay.
So it's like you guys get one round, we get the next round with all teams. The season got cut short, so that didn't actually come to fruition, but that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
So we ended up just crushing. Well, not I shouldn't say crushing. We ended up just winning in a similar fashion, but completely independent of each other. And it got to be toward the end of the season where it was like, well, what are you guys doing so good? Because the RDF guys were just super coordinated. We were using more of strategy, and a lot of teams weren't really. It was so new that not everybody was applying some certain basic strategies, and so we had an edge just from a little bit of that, and which is nowhere near where we're at, in these latest matches.
These days is crazy.
Yeah, but still, it was just enough to stay ahead and not take a loss or even be close to it. And so, toward the end of the season, it was kind of like, all right, well, let's compare notes. Let's take the best of what you're doing, and let's take the best of what they're doing, and it's kind of like we combine everything, and that's where we kind of got born into the season 1 team that we are. TBDI was like, Phoenix and some of these guys were like Dubas, and all these guys are international, and the potential of other leagues and things, were, the rumor was that things were going to get split up by region, and it was like, what, let's get ahead of all this, and we already have enough players, and we already have what we feel like is a good opportunity to have more people have more playing time. And so, we kind of just evolved into season 1 as it is, and that's exactly what happened. Everyone got a ton of playing time. People got a lot of reps. My in real life friend Vertigo, he's on TBDI and became like one of their staple players, and got, he played in like every single match and got a ton of playing time. Which, if we were all sharing playing time, that's just not a realistic thing to do, is get everybody in matches. Especially if you're trying to put your best foot forward every single time. It's sometimes the newer players don't get the opportunity to play. When that's
plus you want to get
situation.
you only get familiar with your team when you play with them so many times. So when you're switching everybody
Yep.
out, it's kind of crazy. But shout out to Vertigo. I play with him in lobbies all the time, and he's pretty dope. I like that guy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's a solid dude.
He's a murderer.
Yeah, I've known him from high school. He's one of the best dudes I know. So, I'm glad he's in the game and he's sticking around and he's having a good time. But yeah, no, that's
And
that's kind
cool.
of the.
That's cool at TBDI. Everybody. I mean, whatever the story is behind TBDI, I don't care, because in the end they end up being the full team. They stuck it out to the end, and that's respectable to all the teams who played it to the end. Like, they didn't drop out before that.
Yeah, and actually their story is fantastic too, because when all the dust settles, they said the same thing. It was kind of like, wow, we get along really well, like very similar personalities, like all the dudes like each other. They have like just a genuine good time playing with each other. But and at the core of it, that's what matters. You're having a good time. You got guys you can joke with and banter and not be offended. Kind of just be on the same page. And so they have that. And also, there's something special about having a smaller team where everyone gets a lot of playing time. You get to play with the other guys a lot, so you get to know everybody really, really well, instead of kind of waiting in line trying to get in, or not. Oh man, I haven't played with him in this set like in a while. So there's something to be said about that. And so they got that too while learning. A lot of those players that ended up being the TBDI that we know now are brand new players, rookies in the league that mid-season we saw them in lobbies, and grabbed them, and they just got better. And so that team is, I put them on, the list of new teams, because they pretty much are. Dubas is a veteran for sure. But
Yeah, I played with him a
still,
grip of times before before I seen him on team.
oh, he's a monster. Dubas from season 0. He crushed it in matches in season 0 with us, and then seeing him now, I mean, his skill level went way up too. That dude's a monster. So I'm shout out to him. Yeah, no, it's been a great ride. It's been fun.
What about the French team, man? They came out of nowhere one day, and I was like, that's super dope, man. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
a shout
cool.
out to Dubas too. He really was like their spokesperson. They reached out to him, and because he speaks French also, and was like, hey, can you help us get in the league and coordinate the matches and stuff? And they became like the allied team with TBDI of the 2 international teams at scrimmage, and they still do. They just had a scrimmage the other day just for fun, and I think they even mix up their teams sometimes and play with each other. Like, so they're truly like a friend. That's another team, and so shout outs to the French guys. They're awesome.
Or percent, go ahead. You want to say something?
No, I was just saying those FR guys, man. You see them in public lobbies, and they're just straight killers. When we played team name with them, it was like kind of crazy. Toga, dude, that guy's such a beast with shotguns.
Yeah.
He was like just sitting there, and he was hiding and killing us, and he'd move his hiding spot and killing us. And like all you could hear on comms for like 5 minutes straight is like, dude, the fucking French guy's back again, dude, with the fucking shotguns. Like, what the fuck? We got to get rid of him. He tormented us, but no, they're like crazy good. I think they have a lot of potential. They just need to get together more often, and I know they've got some like time limitations, and like they have a really small player pool to pull from, so that must be a bit tough. And then, of course, not really being able to full on communicate with everyone in the community has got to be rough. But I really hope to see them back in Div 1. I think they've got it, and I think they can put everything together and make it happen.
And let me apologize if you guys watched the commercial, the intro I made, and the only logo that was missing was the French people. I apologize only because I told the comedian who was giving me the lines that it was 10 teams, and when I was sending the logos to the editor, which is a SendVR, I realized it was 11 teams. So that was on me. I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't forget about you guys. He said 10, so we just did top 10. You know what I mean? I'm sorry.
Oh man, they're gonna invade the U.S. or do something crazy.
I'm hoping. I mean, because I want to get an audience over there in France, and now they're gonna be like, "Yo, this guy left us out. Don't ever come to France ever again."
Yeah, we should try to get him on somehow. We'll
I
get
would love
Dubas
to.
as the interpreter.
I would love to. Oh yeah, man. I don't care how long the episode takes. We'll get through it together.
Yeah, no, because those dudes are solid guys. I can't communicate with them either, but I know Dubas's judgment on people's personality, and like he loves them. Like, he's their favorite. He's like, man, these French guys are awesome. All our teammates over there on TBDI are like, man, we have the most fun when we play with them. So they are an awesome group, and I do hope they come back. But I know they're mainly just having fun, so I get it.
Yeah, shout outs to all the teams that came through. Damn, there's so many. Are we missing any?
Yeah, we haven't talked about Supernova yet, really.
Well, I mentioned them, but yeah. What do you guys think about Supernova?
Dude, they were a crazy team too, man. I mean, look at the inception of it. Like, Yellow just got kicked out of Arc or whatever it was at the time.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
and Lat told him, like, straight up, you can't get on another team. Like, you can make your own if you want, but you can't get kicked off a team and then just like go join someone else's team. And I think maybe part of that was it's Yellow. That guy's at the time at least considered probably the best player in the game back then. And he formed a crazy good team. Unfortunately, he kind of abandoned them before they ever got to play with them. But he did put together a good group of guys, and then they replaced Yellow with Bartimus, which was like a huge addition to the team.
Oh yeah.
And that guy came out of nowhere, man. I mean, he was just bonkers. Like, to see that guy play is just like unbelievable. He just kind of came out of nowhere. I actually I met him in a private lobby once. I was like walking forth through like our initial like kind of basic Onyx strats, and I was like, you know what, that's cool. You just follow me around. And I probably shouldn't have, because like a week later, like I noticed that they just like knew exactly what we were gonna do, and he ended up beating us, which was crazy. But like, he was just such a good player, and I see a lot of potential in them. Like right now, I know they've kind of called things off and they've officially disbanded for the time being, but it looks like they're probably going to try to get everything back together and rejoin Div 1. But their players have spread out a little bit. But yeah, they had a good thing going, man. I think they got like, what, 2 wins overall, which is pretty crazy for a brand new team.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
No, and shout outs to Boy Doy and all of them.
Yeah, and Yeet Kid.
Ye Kid, I know he's not playing Hyperdash at all. Like I think he said he's gonna give up VR for a little while, just for like a break, take a sabbatical, and he'll be right back to after these commercials. And I respect the man, because I mean I'm trying to get it in between, like I'm trying to, between showers and stuff. I'm right there in the restroom telling my wife that I'm taking a shower, but I'm actually doing VR.
Yeah, squeeze it in when you can.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Yeah, no.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, some of these new teams that were part of season 1 didn't have the luxury of a Division 2 to separate out like all these teams who have a whole season 0 of experience on top of them. So not only that, but all the original players of the game, the oldest players of the game, they went to teams for season 0. So any new team is not gonna have the big, the oldest veterans of the game. So it's Division 2 looks like it's going to be perfect and a good place for teams to learn the strategies, figure it out, get in sync, and then see if they're ready to take it to the next level and go into Division 1. So I think it's all working out perfectly, especially with the population getting much bigger and Hyperdash, and they're getting closer to release. It's like there's got to be some way to separate out these teams that have so much more experience from going through the grind. But having that said, teams like Supernova and Onyx, even if you guys just reformed at any moment and we start a new season and there's a whole bunch of new teams, you guys would stomp them from the experience you gained. It's just like what you guys are now is not what you started the season off at. This you specifically percent classic, all the it's ridiculous the evolution of the players. So it's just experience, and Division 2 gives that chance for a lot of teams to gain that. So I'm excited to see that go off.
Yeah, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I think there's two sides to that coin. Like you just said, I do feel like I got a lot more experience throughout the season, and I think part of that was getting stomped on for the first half of the season, just like by better players, watching what they did and trying to like fix the mistakes that I made that got me into the position to get killed in the first place, and like watching them and gaining from that. I think Dash League is, having a Division 2 is absolutely necessary though. It's tough, man. When you've got these teams that are so refined, like TBD and even ARC and whatnot, it's impossible to go up against them and expect to win. So like Division 2, getting you into that like just cradle where you're a little bit easier to get a win or kind of figure your strats out before you go up against the big boys makes a ton of sense. But I still think that for some people it might make sense for them to skip a step and go straight to Div 1 and kind of just like grind it out. I think there's a lot of perspectives on the.
No, you're right. It's a personality thing too. Some people, they respond well to crazy adversity, and then other people, they just want to have fun and relax and not have to go into something and feel bad about it at the end of it. So yeah, I mean, there's different personalities too. So the team, whatever team it is, it's like whatever their culture is, they got to decide that and see if they want to be like an ARC, where you pull it all in there, study and do the trigonometry and all that stuff, or or if you want to be just chill and learn on your own pace without having to worry about going up against a team like ARC.
Well, that's what I loved about the different teams on Dash League before there was a Division 2, Division 1, because it was like, okay, if you want to be serious and top of the line and be like, on top of everything, then you go like ARC. And then if you want to be chill and relax and still get games in and have a good time and still be professional but still have a good time, then you want to go on the lower end, maybe like Onyx or Supernova, because they were still pro teams, but they were like not as serious as ARC would, like Bibles of information, which I would have been day one when they handed me the Bible. I would have been like, all right, I gotta go to my car real quick. I left my wallet in the car, and then just taking off. I would have been gone. I would be like, fuck that. That's too much work, bro. I thought we were gonna play a game. I didn't know you were gonna get all serious on me, but hey, look at where it got them. I mean, it didn't get them the trophy, but it got them pretty far, man. I can appreciate that.
Oh yeah, I mean, they made it to the finals in a pretty dominating fashion.
Yeah.
So That's a testament to whatever they were doing in the background.
If you guys don't mind sticking around a while longer, that part went longer. I still want to get into some videos, but I also wanted to say, can you remember, like, not going into detail, but can you remember like some of the controversies we've had over the years? So first one I can remember was the elites. The elites being created. Another one was when Yellow started causing ruckus throughout the chats. I think it was right after like the bacon dog thing on the Dasher series, and he just went on a warpath.
Yep. Maverick shooting the body of Yellow in that match when they fought. Yeah, that was the beginnings of, like, energy and drama in the league. So I like that kind of stuff.
And then we had
after
Master of Games is another one I can remember. I don't know where it was, but I know Masters of Games was another one.
Yep, shotgun camper, just killing everybody from the corners, which is a play style. It is its own style, but I think he was touching other robots and stuff too. So but after that,
there's a case.
Yeah, we had the rule of like the midpoint spawn. Like, no, you can't abuse going in the middle spawn, even though like the devs allowed it in the game programmed. It's like, no, that's not fair. We can't do that in League matches.
I hated that rule.
Yeah. I mean, some people felt like it. We play with what the devs have created.
Yeah.
But then the counter argument is that it's an alpha and not everything has been accounted for, and so that there's a happy medium there, and we obviously,
and it is a league match, so whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there is definitely a happy medium there. For instance, you can get outside of certain maps and shoot through the walls, and there's literally nothing. I mean, obviously, the devs didn't intend that. So I think that's where it comes into play, is like, what did the devs intend? And if they express that, then you kind of got to go with their opinion.
Yep. I think after that was the button holding, right?
Button holding was next, yep.
It was like, nah, that's just cheap and lame, and it just ruins the pace, and like we want to see action, like it's just garbage. And then the counter argument was if you push a button in real life and not release
was it really
someone
the
else
button
can't
holding?
push.
Was that what the next one was?
What is it? Do you have a list? You look
No.
like you're looking at something.
No, I'm not looking at anything. No, I'm looking up off in the distance, like I'm a pothead, like looking at the sky. No, but
you had a whiteboard or something. You wrote all this shit down.
I think the quad letter went out before that. Before the
Did it?
No, I think that was after.
Oh, okay.
But maybe before. I don't know. It all kind of blurs together at some point.
Whatever. Go ahead. The button one.
Yeah. So the button thing, then that got settled eventually after some debating from all teams and like false votes that had to get halted because it was like, no, we haven't really talked about it, or the options don't really make sense. It was probably one of our more I don't want to say heated, but more active and lengthy debates was about the button holding. And eventually button holding became the meta and part of the game. And so that, there was no rule that made against it actually, and it remained. And it's part of the game now.
I do remember feeling like it came out as an innocent question, and then all of a sudden it rolled into a whole debate, and everybody was going back and forth, and it was like getting intense.
No, and I remember people were getting really specific with it. Like, all right, if you have a shield in your hand, you can't hold the button. But and it's like,
I remember that.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a shield in your hand, you're already giving up half your ability to kill people. And then there was like, oh, can you put your hand all the way through the column or not? But the devs fixed that in the very next alpha, kind of making the whole thing irrelevant.
Yeah, and the credit needs to go to RDF for that. They set that meta. They're the ones who did that, where the complaint happened because they do that. They play games and they explore the mechanics of it, and they figure out the strategies and the best thing. Like, that's what they do for fun. And so holding the button was something that they did for a long time. When I was talking to them about it, it's like, oh, we've been doing this for a long time, and it's not like some new thing to us. But in a match when it's streamed and other players who haven't seen it before, and at the time the RDF guys didn't play that much of Hyperdash, and so people didn't run into that much. And so they came in and it kind of shocked people, like, oh man, that's just, we didn't do that before, or, we didn't think about that. So shout out goes to them, because they've done that throughout the league, set some new standards for meta. Those kids are smart, real smart.
The Patriots, we didn't know we couldn't deflate balls. What the hell? I'm sorry.
So what was next? I guess next was rockets through the ceilings.
Yep.
Was like a big one, and that like became more of a controversy because like Lat ended up on the same team with Gatsby, and Gatsby was pretty much the main dude known for doing that, and so it like took a little while, but eventually that also got resolved, and they made a rule, and it kind of went away, and then the next thing popped up was the tour mode glitch. And
Mhm.
again, you had the same problem with Lat being on Tor's team and people throwing out accusations and just like this whole fun thing. And then like it was like, all right, well, let's just let's just see if the devs fix it. And the devs kind of fixed it, but not really because you could just change the slider. And I think they probably fixed it in this alpha. I haven't actually checked it out,
They're
but
still trying. With every iteration, they're trying. And yeah, they made it so it's like an auto calibration now. But I'm sure you could like stand on a pedestal or some shit and like manipulate. I'm sure you could do something.
yeah,
Go into
right.
a ditch or something. So
No, I
yeah,
think
no,
at a certain point you're not going to be able to regulate any single thing like that deals with guardian manipulation and stuff. I mean, you get kind of petty at some point.
well,
Yeah.
and Lat hit a happy medium. I felt like the Lat and the mods, I should say, hit a happy medium as far as our stance on TBD was let's play within the like let's not have some kind of system of judgment and penalties and this off of like some rules we're setting on top of the game. It's like, nah, let's just play within the game and request the devs to fix this stuff so that we don't have to worry about a slow-mo replay and stuff. So that was always our stance. But Lat did find a good happy medium of, okay, well, some things need to be regulated and fine, we can't catch it all, but you know what, let's still put a rule to stop it and do our best. And so he didn't go Nazi with the rules, and he didn't just completely play within just whatever the devs made. He found a good happy medium. And so him and the mods did I thought, a really good job trying to find that balance. And we made it through the whole season almost without problems.
And yeah, the commission this bitch, I seen that she had to deal with throughout the time and throughout the months, and seen the people going at him, asking him like, fix this and that. People even leaving because they felt like the language was too aggressive, and him being like, well, it's kind of it's not addressed towards you, so I don't understand why you're upset, but that's the kind of language they want to use. I gotta let them be free, let them be. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, you're talking about Stu. That was a big controversy there that we kind of passed over. Like, I mean, the dude was a caster on here,
True. That was a big one.
and then when that went down and he
That-
left, there was like a big hole kind of left.
That he's the reason why I had to bump up my shit to 1080 60 frames, because people were just loving the clarity and the cleanness, and I was like, damn, that means I gotta do it now.
Yep.
But I appreciate that guy for setting that standard, because it's never looked better. But yeah, man, he took off because some people's language was very aggressive. I don't know what kind of animal would call somebody a vagina or say vagina monologue, but that guy is a true disgusting human being. And
Because
I don't know.
problem with saying that phrase.
Yeah, no, that's actually funny. Yeah, twice, man. That's funny.
Yeah. It's fitting for. I should walk back all that stuff. But no, I say that. I have Tourette's and just say random shit.
I
That's
love
what I'm
it.
going with.
I mean, you got to maintain the bad boy persona a little bit, so I get it.
And I don't remember what my response was, but I was like, I think I was like, I said my feet hurt or something like that.
Yeah, it cracked me up. Whatever it was perfect.
yeah. So
But it was good banter
but
between guys. So
it was a joke, and that's what I mean. It wasn't even directed at you, so I don't understand. Are you
Well,
upset for me?
I mean, he seemed like a genuinely really good dude, and he was talented
Yeah.
in what he did.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that sometimes it's just there's just